What makes dollar stores so cheap? And I've always asked this. How the hell do dollar stores make money and how do they, make profit? Like
If
what?
I asked you what's the most
What's
popular
happening?
retail chain in America, you'd probably say something stupid like CVS, Walgreens, Dwayne
Or
Reed,
Walmart.
or Walmart, or Target, or perhaps BJ's. Do you guys love BJ's? I love
Hell
BJ's.
yeah.
That's a real store in New England, and it's very popular. But holy shit, how did they not see that marketing-wise? But the biggest retailer in the U.S. by number of stores is actually Dollar General. In fact, there are more dollar stores in America than every Walmart, Target, McDonald's, and Starbucks combined. Who doesn't love going down to the dollar store and picking up a new flavor of Faygo? Look, they got cotton candy flavor for only 25 cents. A fitting price for such a disgusting abomination. Oh no, it's not 25 cents. It's $1.
Bro, I'm sorry. White Monster, unbeat. My favorite freaking drink. Okay, I wish there was an option to buy White Monsters without caffeine. I just drink once of it, like max once a day, and that's it. I don't drink coffee. I hate the taste. I just love White Monster, man. I just wish there was an option without caffeine.
25.
Just for the taste.
Well, that's a little upset. It's a dollar store. Why are we going over $1? What for a Faygo? What the I just don't get how you're gonna lie about selling things for $1 and then not only that, sell me something that should be literally a nickel. It's cotton candy Faygo and you're gonna charge $1.25 for that? Have some credibility. But that's just the thing. Hardly anything in the dollar store actually costs $1 anymore. They're all liars. They all sell things more than $1 and it's in their name. It's damn right unconstitutional. It's like if you found out I had a super small I mean, my name's Big Tug. I gotta be packing down there.
Yup.
Start a rumor that I'm
Don't
packing
disappoint
down
me,
there.
man.
Honestly, I can't
Come
think of
on.
one good reason why the dollar store would need to charge more than $1. Inflation? That's made up. Print more money. But still, with prices so relatively low, it's no wonder that studies show nearly 90% of Americans have shopped at a dollar store in the last year alone. However, other research suggests that as many as 36% of shoppers use these stores at least 3 times a month. And between 2008 and 2020, food sales at these stores nearly doubled. Now, is it because that's really sad because financial times hit hard and we had to get our meat at a
That's probably most likely it. It is. Sorry. Also, finally, the Iran war. I think it should be done. They should sign a deal on Friday, and gas prices should go down. But also, gas prices and housing prices and fucking groceries. Everything is killing us. Okay. Here in Europe as well. It's not helping. We need more euro and dollar stores.
dollar
Real ones, not
Yes,
fake ones.
That's why it happened, I would assume. But man, come on down for the steakums, kids. We got it at the dollar store. You just know it's poison.
Oh.
Every
Oh,
line in that is
hell
poison.
no.
So not only are dollar stores everywhere, but they're quickly becoming a consistent component of the American diet. During a 2020 earnings call, Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso said, "We do very good in good times, and we do fabulous in bad times." He loves the poors, Teddy. Honestly, if everything's going so good all the time, sounds like you could probably afford to keep your shit under $1 there, Ted. But considering today's dollar is worth 47% less than it was 25 years ago, Ted's fabulous bad time seems to be here to stay. Tuglets, it's time to dig between the cushions of your couch and find the spare change, because today we're taking a trip to the dollar store and we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on over there. And also, do people find change between the cushions anymore? I mean, I haven't had a couch good enough to have cushions. It's usually one slate of fabric.
We don't have money to buy a couch, bruh. Be lucky. Consider yourself lucky, okay? We're struggling. We're sleeping on the freaking floor.
And then, I mean, do people have loose change in their pockets anymore?
That's a young man's ideal fucking apartment, by the way. A nice PC, a bench, and a mattress on the
I
floor.
remember going between the cushions and getting ice cream money for the ice cream truck when I was a child. Kids don't have that anymore. Chris, you can go to the next segment whenever you want. I'm just going to be talking about the ice cream man for a while. The roots of discount retail stretch back so far that they predate the era when $1 was considered cheap. It's hard to think about now, but there was a time in America when a crisp George Washington was actually worth something and not filling up space in your pockets. What are you going to get for $1 nowadays? A cow tail? Chris, put up a picture of a cow tail. They're delicious, but they're fucking disgusting. Back in 1788, $1 was worth $30. You think... I don't get money. How can that be true? Which is why the first discount
inflation
stores were
is
actually
insane.
called 5 and 10 cent stores. Hey, yeah, you see? The first of which was created in 1878 by the most 1878 name I've ever heard in my life, Frank Winfield Woolworth. Holy shit, that is an entrepreneur. Woolworth did live up to his name, however, becoming wildly successful by creating the first 5 and dime stores. The business model was so lucrative that it was quickly duplicated by other stores, spawning some of America's first chains, including what would eventually become the 20th century retail giant Kmart. Remember Kmart? That's why I said 20th century giant, because that shit not around no more. They failed spectacularly.
I've never
Maybe
heard
I'll
of
make
it.
a video about that one day. But we're going to be talking about the dollar store today. But of all the 5 and dimes, none were as successful or as influential as the 20th century Ben Franklin stores. Now, naming your store after a founding father is a bold move, especially when you're picking Benny Franklin, because that dude was a pervert. I mean, not only did he invent lightning rods, bifocals, and glass instruments played with wet fingers called the harmonica, but Franklin wasn't just inventing things, he was also a cocksmith. The dude loved him some French. He loved a French more than he loved this country. So in his honor, we decided as a country to get together and name a cheap little fucking store after him. And I'm sure he would be thrilled if he lived to see the day. Ben Franklin stores were everywhere. At the company's peak, they operated 2,500.
I'm surprised the law like allowed stuff like this. Like if I were in my, I don't think is it allowed in Europe in most countries? Like naming my own business from a like historical name, like related to my country. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I know you won't be able to make something, you know, a business named Hitler in Germany or Austria. I mean, anywhere in Europe, probably not in the US. That was a horrible example, but you know what I mean. I'm surprised that somebody could do this. I didn't know that was possible.
A World War II veteran named Sam Walton bought a Ben Franklin and
I mean, yeah, Trump has the Trump Tower. Okay, a tower. But that's him. It's his name.
Arkansas. The store was sold to Franklin for $25,000, and the sellers apparently were quoted as saying, "This dude's buying a lemon." That's not a direct quote. They wouldn't say this dude, but they did call the store a lemon. If you don't know what a lemon is, it's something that's right out the gate, and he's probably gonna fail.
Like, what if I open a freaking, I don't know, something related to prostitution, something related to, I don't know, you know what I mean? And I name it under the name of the politician that's running my country right now.
But
like,
nobody
you know
saw
I mean?
coming was the business IQ of this fucking shell-shocked war veteran. In 3 years, Walton's annual sales topped $250,000, which in today's money is about a trillion billion jabinka joints, because that's a lot of money back then. Eventually, Walton struck out on his own, creating a little store called Walmart. That's right, the basic principles of Walmart, one of the world's largest retailers, were fine-tuned in the dollar store, where Walton learned—
I need to like make a video on European reacting to characters of Walmart or the stereotypes of Walmart or something, because I know a lot of people that going to the US or moving to the US from Europe that mention, I want to visit Walmart. It's like this touristy place in every freaking city in the US. It's just you go there to experience the real US experience.
the pricing, merchandising,
I gotta
and
go when I
layouts
come
that
to the
would influence
US.
the Walmart model. And you guys know the Walmart model. It's perfect. You get the candy at the checkout aisles. You sell guns in cages next to baby formula. It's perfect. It's America. But it isn't just Walmart that claims roots in the Ben Franklin stores. This shit was wildly influential, turns out. In 1953, a Ben Franklin was purchased by K.R. Perry, whose son would eventually take up the family business by opening up a Dollar Tree in 1986. Remember the Dollar Tree? It's the whole point of the video. I've been ignoring that. I can't write a script for the of me, but I'm glad I hope you've been enjoying this. Hope you get all your fun facts. I am burnt out, guys.
I'm bored of history. Come on, tell us the economics and how it works, please.
But it was three decades earlier in the 1950s when dollar stores began to take the shape we recognize today. Dollar General opened up in Springfield, Kentucky in 1955, and Family Dollar of Charlotte, North Carolina followed just 4 years later. Dollar General expanded to 29 stores and was doing annual sales of $5 million just 2 years after opening. And Family Dollar opened up 100 stores in its first decade, and then they opened up another 100 stores just a year after that. They were booming, exponential growth. Chris put up a chart.
God damn, that's insane. What was the statistic? If it's true, right? Like 90-something% of businesses fail in the first year or 2 or 5 years. 5 million in the second year. That's insane. I wish I got lucky with something in my life like that.
Their spread because
like I don't even need 5 million in a year. Just give me 100K.
The American suburbs and small towns after World War II. Dollar stores filled that gap of affordable and convenient shopping. Come on down, we're selling hams today. Plus big box stores like Walmart, they weren't even existing yet. You had to wait a decade for that shit. And even when they did, they tended to grow at a slower pace. But this was the genius of the dollar store, and the reason they spread across the country like a weed. They require so little overhead, gang. So little overhead. Their buildings, inventories, and employees are a fraction of those needed by regular retail shops. Because I'll let you in on a little secret, okay? If you have an entire store dedicated to shit that costs less than $1, you can only imagine how little that costs to actually produce and sell. They were making a crazy margin on all this shit.
I would never buy stuff like meat or vegetables and fruits from these. I would go and buy from actual nice fucking stores and supermarkets when it comes to quality meat and eggs and vegetables and fruits. And maybe if I want to buy some bullshit snacks, I'll just come to the dollar store, I guess. But imagine buying chicken breast and, I don't know, minced beef from a dollar store. Yeah, nah, man. Yeah. And they probably don't even sell that stuff there. What am I saying?
Footprints allows them to thrive in communities often overlooked by bigger
Coke
retailers
Zero,
and
maybe?
places where it isn't practicable or profitable to run a Walmart. And these places that I just described also happen to be full of the most desirable clientele for the dollar store: the poors. Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso says that their average customer is a woman in a dual income household that earns less than $40,000 before taxes, yikes, and has only about $800 of disposable income per year. It's not a great situation to be in. This makes much of rural America
and the sad part is there's a lot of those kinds of people all around the fucking country.
Spot for their industry. However, 75% of Americans nowadays do live within a 5-mile radius of a dollar store. So how does that amount of expansion make sense with the average demographic of a discount shopper? These dollar stores aren't just in the shanty towns. They're in nice suburbs and they're around the rich people. So how's that going down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of show where I bring up the fact that shit's pretty bad right now, and it's been pretty bad for a while, and it doesn't look like it's getting better. The rich people are poor now. We're
Yep, listen, man, only the top 1% are just getting richer and richer, okay? Middle class, upper middle class, it's going down, okay? I'm probably gonna make more videos on my second channel. This is my second channel. I've got another channel where I talk about, social issues, money issues, dating, job stuff, maybe some AI stuff. You can check it out if you want to. It's in the description. But it's pretty fucking sad and depressing, man. And they like it. They want it like this. They will be getting richer by doing this.
Middle-class households, which earn 2/3 of all income. And in 2023, only 51% of Americans were middle class, which earned less than half of all income. And I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out here. It gets a little confusing when you start thinking about how bad things actually are. But they're important in this discussion because you can quote me on this. Chris, put up on the screen, numbers are business. That's the first thing they teach you in business school. You like numbers? Because that's business. What I'm saying is the middle class is shrinking, and that's a great thing for people who own dollar stores. To quote Vasso, as this economy continues to chug along and create more of our core customer, Jesus Christ, that's so dark, I think there's going to be more and more opportunities for us to get in and build more stores.
Bro, imagine your business being based on as many people as possible struggling financially, and you'll be surprised how many businesses indirectly actually want and need that shit, okay? Like, you'll think, but Apple doesn't need, of course, Apple needs mostly Western countries, European and Australia, Japan, the US, Canada, to sell those iPhones. Well, how do they mass produce them? Cheap labor, right? So they still need and depend on very poor, struggling people in different areas of the world in some way. And it is what it is. If you just think these businesses are, I'm saying quote unquote evil because they are needed, and they should. Doesn't mean they shouldn't exist because them existing is only based on people being poorer. If I have a lot of money, I'm still gonna go to the dollar store. So I don't give a shit. Yeah, why not? Why not? But you just think about it. Just how many modern, huge billionaire, trillionaire companies, businesses rely on a huge population, a huge percentage of the population being poor and struggling.
That's so
it's interesting.
I'm sure we're thinking of it.
It's our sad reality.
I'm sure he's talking to people who aren't poor, but oh my God. And this leads us to the consequences of the dollar store strategy. While they often like to position themselves as businesses that do good for the community by helping consumers stretch their dollar while providing access to shopping in underserved areas, they actually play a role in destroying local communities. And we're going to talk about that. As dollar stores aggressively expand, they're no longer just filling in needs for rural towns and small suburbs. They're competing with local grocery stores and effectively wiping them out. Dollar Dollar stores often open up right next door to local businesses, and what do you can't compete with someone selling a $1.25 cotton candy Faygo. Reports suggest that it's typical for mom and pop sales to drop by roughly 15 to 30% after a dollar store opens, driving many of them out of business. Studies have found a substantial decline in the number of grocers within a 2
Just open as many dollar stores as possible. So the bigger, actual, more quality stores will be forced to lower their prices. I know it's not the best idea. I know I'm not a businessman. It's just this is just an individual thinking of how to make my life better.
mile radius of new dollar stores, which lead to food deserts. And that's when a place, an area it's really hard to get good, healthy food, so they have to go to like 7-Eleven and buy donuts in order to survive. It's a big issue, and dollar stores contributing to that. And this cycle continues as fewer grocery stores mean more business for dollar stores, leading to more dollar stores opening, destroying even more grocery stores. So at this point, I know what you're asking yourself, Tucker. Is this all this bad stuff you're talking about? Is this all worth the savings? Is this worth the $1.25 Faygo, which is the only item I currently know that sells at dollar stores? But honestly, that question might be a little bit of a moot point. Dollar stores have a penny pinching reputation that's made them a favorite among thrifty and low income households, but that reputation might actually not be warranted.
I would go and buy socks. I don't care. I would go and buy, I don't know, school supplies for my kids if I'm struggling. I don't care. There's a lot of useful stuff that I would go for these stores.
If you think about it, these stores are making an insane amount of money. In 2024, Dollar General's net sales topped $40 billion, while Dollar Tree raked in $17.6 billion, and Family Dollar made $13.25 billion. How could a business that keeps inventory so cheap make so much goddamn money?
Are they rising the prices on some stuff, and there are no more that many $1 stuff in there? I mean, imagine you're like dominating in your field, in your industry. Everybody's coming to, like, even if you raise everything by $1, you'll double. Imagine everything in your store is $1. You raise everything to $2. You have 100% your profits. And you're still wildly more cheaper than every single other store in your region. Yeah.
Guys, they do it by doing what everyone else does. They fuck over the customers. It's so simple. Why didn't I think of it? One of the most common tactics dollar stores use to increase profit margins is shrinkflation. A very chuggy term, a very millennial term, but it's actually real, so we gotta pay attention to it.
I remember this was like last summer. Went to buy a ice cream, 80-gram ice cream, for like, I don't know, how much was it in dollars? I think like almost $1. So I'm gonna go to buy it this last summer. I'm noticing it's 65 grams now, but it's still the same price. I notice it because when I cut, that's like when I go in a cup for like get abs and stuff. I usually eat that at least like 3 times a week for like, it's like 200 calories of ice cream, and I'm like, hey, why not? Maybe less now.
Was coined in 2009 to describe the practice of charging the same amount of money for a product while slightly shrinking its size. Studies find that consumers are less likely to stop buying a product due to shrinkflation than due to a price increase. And they might not even notice a smaller Snickers bar. It might be a quarter-inch smaller. I wasn't paying attention, so give it to them.
Like imagine this, 150 grams of popcorn, for example. 3 years ago when you go, 10 years ago when you go, oh, it's $1 for 150 grams. Now you go, you've got a discount. 2 bags of 50 grams, so that's 100 grams. Ooh, all for $1. Bargain. It is what it is.
But shrinkflation explains why many consumers might not realize that in 2022, Gatorade changed the size of its standard bottle from 32 ounces to 28 ounces. Gatorade! Come on now, I need that lemon juice, I need that yellow juice in my body when I get a cold. But unfortunately, shrinkflation is a strategy that dollar stores use to exploit the vulnerability of their primary customer base. Now, considering practices like shrinkflation are going on, it's kind of hard to think about if you're actually saving any money shopping at these stores. And that's why we came up with a brand new game to help you navigate the discounts in the dollar store aisle. It's time to play Deal or No Deal. That cannot be right. That's already taken, Jimmy. You f***ed that up. I can't say that. That's a f***ing copyright. All right, that's why we're playing a brand new game called Thrifty or Shitty. Well, I can't say that over and over. I'm gonna get demonetized. Thrifty or Shifty. You dropped the ball on this one, Jimmy. The rules are simple. I'll show you a dollar store item, and then you get to decide whether it'd be cheaper to just get it at a local grocery store. And it probably is, because I love the deals down at Market Basket. More product placement. Go to Market Basket. They over Damula, but the deals are still there. All right, number one, challenge number one, mayo. Put it on the screen, Chris. Got a jar of mayo. This 8-ounce jar of Kraft real mayo sounds like a steal at $1.25, which equals about
probably not even real mayo.
15.62.
That shit looks like it would kill you in one day.
5 cents per ounce. Holy, what a steal. But honestly, I've never heard of mayo coming in an 8-ounce increment, so I'm a little bit, I'm already confused and a little bit suspicious. I also hate how it immediately labels itself as real. I know they tried to differentiate themselves from mayo, what's that shit? Miracle Whip, which is disgusting, but I hate when anyone put, like, made with real sugar. I fucking hope. What kind of fake sugar can you use? I don't know. Calling it real mayo makes it seem like it's a naturally occurring element on this earth instead of being whipped up with a shit ton of oil and eggs. Like, it doesn't grow on a tree, gang. It's not, real is a big word. Okay, so it's time to decide, Tuglets. Thrifty or shifty? Survey says a 30-ounce jar of mayonnaise runs about $40 at my local grocery store, which comes in at about 13.3 cents an ounce. Which some of you geniuses out there would notice that that is less than the number I said earlier about the dollar store mayo. So you're getting even though it seems cheaper, you're just buying less. All right, number two, Thousand Island dressing. I'm pretty sure that's what they put on Big Macs. I've never had it on a salad. Again, we have an example of a weirdly small bottle with this dressing again costing $1.25 for an 8-ounce bottle, or
and it's the same brand
per ounce.
It's probably gonna be more. Oops,
got that. It's
my bad.
So anyway,
holy shit.
Thrifty or shifty? Answer: it's a little weird, actually. For complete transparency, the 8-ounce bottle available at the dollar store was Kraft, a name brand. And with that in mind, my local grocery store carries a 16-ounce bottle of Kraft Thousand Island for $4.29, which is approximately 26.8 cents per ounce. And that would make the dollar store version of this thrifty. However, if you're already shopping at the dollar store, I don't think a name brand is much of a concern, in which case you can get a generic Thousand Island for $2.49 or 15.5 cents per ounce, which makes the dollar store version.
Just watch a YouTube video, buy whatever vegetables you need for the sauce, buy the spices you need, and make the sauces yourself. It's not hard. I know we're all lazy, but it's not hard. Okay, just so you know, it's like one YouTube video for like 1 minute. You could make the sauce. It is what it is.
Thousand Island dressing, shifty. So I guess you just got to pay attention to. You got to bring a calculator to the store, which is so fun when I'm shopping.
I'm so lazy. I just use ketchup. That's it. I'm just lazy. I just don't want to buy more stuff. Most of the food that I cook is just I throw it in the air fryer. I'm a guy who lives alone, by the way. No surprise. Just throw it in the air fryer or just in the microwave. Done. That's it. Most of the stuff that I eat is just chicken, eggs, tuna, already done. I just buy already made, packed salads of fruits and vegetables, and that's it because I'm a lazy fuck.
All right, challenge number 3, ramen, the cheapest thing on earth. I remember back when these were 29 cents a packet. I don't know how
these are student drugs. These are what every single student struggling with finances does, okay?
Keep yourself alive on this planet, so I was a little surprised to see this stuff at the dollar store charging $1.50 per pack. That is so much money. You just buy a can of soup for that. But it's a 5-pack, so if you do the math, each one's only about 30 cents, and that's a screaming good deal for a bowl of soup. But ramen noodles occupy a weird space in the culinary world. The type you make at home is incredibly unhealthy, accounting for 72% of your recommended sodium intake per package, and the kind you get at a restaurant melts.
You think people struggling with their finances care about this? I mean, if you're at least somewhat managing your finances well, you should care. I'm talking about like people like they are not able to pay rent for this month. They don't have at least $1,000 of money in their bank account. That's the people I'm talking about. Okay.
It's the best thing on earth. So I don't get it. But one thing I noticed is a 5-pack of ramen noodles is a little unorthodox. Usually it's a 6-pack. So my suspicion flares are flaring. Is it thrifty or shifty? Answer. Okay, we might be splitting hairs here because ramen is already so goddamn cheap. But you can get a 12-pack at a standard grocery store for $4.99, which is over 41 cents a pack. So this is thrifty.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't care. It's not that big of a difference.
But with a pretty big asterisk. Keep in mind that these bigger packs of ramen do always go on sale. In fact, while I was writing this, you could get a 12-pack of ramen at my local market for $2.99 or a little less than 25 cents a pack. So, whatever. Frozen pizza, number 4. This was one of the most shocking items I found in the store because each one of these pizzas is $5 each, which is...
Listen, if you're struggling with money, just buy tons of cheap groceries and make food at home. Buying frozen pizzas for eating every day, it's not the move. I'm sorry. It's just not the move. Frozen food like this, no. No. Just buy as many groceries from whatever cheap place you can find, and just make food at home, just yourself. That's it. It's gonna be much cheaper. Okay. I'm not telling you to buy I'm not telling you to buy the most expensive, leanest cuts of beef. You don't have to.
Pizza, but it's still a fucking frozen pizza. And it's not even DiGiorno, which is like the best one. So survey says Thrifty or Shifty, and I thought this was gonna be a slam dunk for Shifty. No way could anyone in their right mind charge over $5 for a Red Baron pizza. But sure enough, they do. This same thing is being sold at my local grocery store for $5.99. $1 more for Red Baron. What happened to this country? I don't even know how we win this game, folks. I feel like we're losing, no matter what we do. How did it get so dark?
So just because of these prices, I wouldn't just go to dollar stores. Yeah, I guess I could save so I go shopping for groceries like once a week. So I'd save maybe $10. That's it. That's the biggest difference. And me driving extra to dollars? Nah. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. And I just don't really buy most of these things. I buy like eggs, beef, chicken, Maybe they have already made salads packed, but I wouldn't trust them. I'll think that they'll probably kill me or something.
This was supposed to be a fun history lesson about the dollar store. What's the next segment? Oh, good. The section is called The Human Cost of a Dollar Store. Fantastic. Dollar stores aren't always a value for consumers, and they often hurt local businesses. But guess what? They are awful to their employees. 92% of Dollar General workers earn less than $15 an hour. Which, just in case you weren't paying attention, $15 an hour is not livable anywhere in the United States.
Yeah, and the insane stuff is, the minimum wage in the U.S. hasn't been changed for like 20 years, I think. And to this day, the minimum wage in the US is $8.25. $8 and a quarter an hour. Meanwhile, you can barely survive on 20.
Be in Kansas and you're Not only are these staffers underpaid, but they also have to work with the bare bones staffing. Oftentimes, dollar stores only have 2 people working at once. And that makes things really complicated considering that they're always trying to sell balloons at the front of their store. Just one parent trying to buy a balloon for their child that they love will completely f over an entire shift at Dollar General. Not to mention that since there's only 2 people working, you basically have to do everything. You ring people up, you stock the shelves, you clean, go to any grocery.
I used to work in a Chinese restaurant. And I was paid for 1 roll. Meanwhile, I packed, cleaned, did online orders, brought the food. Also, the cooks, the chefs, they didn't know English or my native language. They just knew Chinese. It was insane. And I couldn't last more than like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. It was insane. But there were a lot of like rich people that came there for some reason. And I always stayed on their very good side, and they gave me some good fucking. I remember a guy giving me like 50 euros as a tip, which is like 55, 60 US dollars. That was pretty fucking sexy.
Store, they have like 40 people doing all those jobs. There are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who don't even work remotely as hard. Former dollar store employees report being expected to work long hours with little or no overtime. So not only is this wildly exploitative, it's also extremely unsafe. Without time to take care of stocking, the merchandise piles up in the aisles. I don't know if you've been to a dollar store recently, but it looks like a fucking bomb went off. And federal safety inspections have repeatedly found
when I'm going to a dollar store or a euro store or whatever, right? Or whatever cheap store, I'm not expecting luxury looking fucking stores inside. It's fine. Yeah, and I'm expecting a little bit of a mess. Never be fucking hard on customer service people and people working in supermarkets or dollar stores even. You can search a little bit, it's fine, okay? You don't want to do that? Go to a Walgreens or something.
Exit routes, fire hazards, and unsafely stacked merchandise. In 2024, Dollar General paid a $12 million fine to the government for workplace safety violations. And nothing changed. They were just like, yeah, we do that shit. Here's the money for it, but we're not it's way cheaper to just not pay these people than it is to pay you guys, so fuck it. But a blocked exit is the least of your worries at the dollar store. Because of their lack of security and small numbers of employees, they get robbed all the fucking time. There's any 50-50 coin flip if you walk into a dollar store. It's currently in the middle of a mugging. In Dayton, Ohio, 81 criminal incidents were counted by police at dollar stores in 2023. And while the majority of them involved theft, several of them were robberies. Robberies are incredibly common at the dollar store. And I know they're an easy target because they got one dude called Todd running the shop, but how much money could you squeeze out of a fucking dollar store? I'm sure they have $20 in cash behind the register.
It's the same in Europe, by the way. Europe isn't that really famous for Euro stores. There's like Euro Shop, there's Euro... I don't remember, but I know a few UK ones, German and Austrian ones. Yeah, they get robbed. And especially as a tourist, don't go to dollar store, Euro stores in Europe. Don't. Well, as a tourist, be smart when you go to, touristy places in Europe. That's an even bigger fucking problem when it comes to pickpockets and robberies. Just saying.
Man, they think it might be worth it because people fucking die a lot during these. According to data from the Gun Violence Archive, 172 people have been injured in Dollar General stores since 2014, and nearly 50 have died. That's too many. I mean, death is always
50 have
tragedy,
died? What have they gotten lawsuits or something? Have they gotten in like security issues, problems with the government? It's like, what's happening? It only takes one rich millionaire's kid to, end up like that in a store, and then what? Or billionaire's kid, and then what?
But we're averaging 5 a year here. One Ohio Dollar General employee named Dave Dukes actually experienced 3 armed robberies, so many that the company sent him to other stores in the region to train employees on how to handle themselves while a gun is being pointed at them. But after his 3rd robbery...
Imagine being this down bad, applying to, like, you can't find a better job, so I guess I have to do with this $15 an hour job, but I have to get trained for the job. Not for how to, put numbers in Excel. No. For how to deal with somebody potentially, shooting me in the head.
Dukes hit his limit, and he started bringing a gun to work. I don't blame him.
I didn't know this.
He got robbed again at Dollar General, and he shot the dude and killed somebody. All this over cotton candy Faygo. All right,
fucking cotton candy.
This is not as fun as I thought it was going to be. We got to make this fun. Okay, goofy dollar store names in other countries. That's more like it. Okay, we'll end on a fun note. We'll just talk about how the Europeans name their dumb shit. In Germany, you get one hero shop, which is pretty boring.
Just
Japan
mentioned
has 100 yen shops, which is kind of fun. I don't get why Asian countries have denominations of money that are so much, though. I don't get that. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that hamburger costs 1,400 yen. Just make it 14. Take a couple zeros off that.
Yo, you haven't heard about a lot of African countries. It's like 100,000. What? How much is it in dollars? $3.
I don't know why we do that. Like South Korea, 1,000 won shop. Like, make it $1. Why? Just cut the zeros off of it. Vietnam, 10K stores. You see what I'm saying? Dollarama in Canada. That's fun. That's a fun one. The UK used to have a 3-penny stores, which sounds dumb, but now they have Poundland, which is where I took your mother last night. And of course, Poland has Whoa. I have no clue. I don't know. Chris,
for some reason, that sounds wrong and dangerous.
I have no clue how to say that. There's a 5 in there.
It doesn't even look like it's safe.
Nothing like a little xenophobia to take the edge off. But before I go, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I don't think it's bad to shop at the dollar store. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. And I'm not shaming anyone for doing it. You guys aren't the problem. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes you can really stretch your George Washington shopping at these fine retailers. However, I think it's important to realize just how these stores work, and that's by feeding off of our misery. They give less, they charge more, they destroy small businesses, and create practically death traps. As one retail researcher expertly put it, what the dollar stores are betting on in a large way is that we are going to have a permanent underclass in America, based on the concept that the jobs went away and the jobs are never coming back.
Oh, wait until AI comes along. Then? I didn't know what's gonna happen. Video for another. I can talk about that a whole fucking day, but this is bad. But it's going to get a lot worse. Trust me,
things
with
are
AI,
going to get better in any of these places. So on that super fun note, thanks for watching Big Tug. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday.
Pretty freaking cool channel. Go and subscribe to Big Tug because, I've got a huge channel with more than 2 million subscribers, and Big Tug is a smaller channel than me, so go and help Big Tug reach 2 million subs. Interesting. So Who would have thought? They're making more money because of shrinkflation and inflation. Because they're selling the same product for much less, but in a smaller package for the same money, or maybe a quarter or a nickel, or not a nickel, but a quarter or half a dollar more. Yeah, so basically, it's the same cash grab business model as every single other company that sells products. That's a product-oriented company. Yeah, cool, chill. But yeah, all the history, pretty fucking interesting. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, and have a nice day.